This guy shares how he protected his spouse when people kept talking over her. It's just beautiful.
So my wife and I were at her family's house for dinner. Everybody's talking, laughing, telling stories. It feels like every other family gathering. Then I started noticing something. Every time my wife started talking, somebody talks over her. Not in a mean way, just like they were so used to doing it, like they didn't even realize it anymore. A few minutes later, her aunt asks everybody a question. My wife starts answering. Before she can finish, someone else jumped in. The conversation keeps moving. Nobody circles back to her. I catch her expression for just a second. She smiles, but it looks like practice, like she smiled through this 1,000 times before. On the drive home, I ask, "Did you notice they kept interrupting you?" She shrugs. "They've always done that." I said, "Doesn't that bother you?" She smiled and said, "You get used to it." Man, that answer bothered me more than the interruptions, because nobody should get used to feeling unheard. A few weeks later, we back over there again. Same house, same people, same conversations. My wife starts sharing a story. And just like before, someone cuts her off. This time, before anyone else could keep talking, I smiled and said, "Hold on for a second. I want to hear what my baby got to say." The whole room paused. Everybody looked back at my wife. She finished her story. People laughed. They asked her questions. The conversation kept going. That was it. No argument. No lecture. No awkward moment. Just one sentence. On the ride home, she reached over and grabbed my hand. And she said something I'll never forget. "You know what's crazy?" I said, "What?" She smiled and said, "Nobody's ever done that for me before." Man, I had to look out the windshield for a moment because I almost teared up, because it hit me. She had spent her whole life adjusting to being interrupted that she forgot what it felt like to be heard. And all it took was one person who loved her enough to make sure her voice was heard. Sometimes loving your spouse isn't speaking up for them. Sometimes it's making sure the world finally listens when they speak.